It's a final day of Liberty Bowl prep from here in Memphis at the Media Hotel, and we just finished talking to Ken Niumatalolo from Navy and Chris Klieman from Kansas State as we are one day away from the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. From GoPowerCat.com, I'm Riley Gates, and this is your pregame press pass brought to you by our friends at Robbins Motor Company in Manhattan. Well, the biggest talking point for the last month has been how Navy's triple option offense is going to challenge the Kansas State defense coming into this one. But today we learned that Navy doesn't exactly know what K-State's going to do on the defensive side of the ball when the triple option is run, and Chris Klieman and Ken Niumatalolo both said that it'll be a unique way to see what the Wildcats do on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, it's a total different preparation. Obviously, there's not one call that we've made throughout 12 games and X amount of snaps that we're going to make on Tuesday. It's a brand new defense, and I think the fortunate thing is we didn't play him on December 17th or have 3 days to prepare. We've had ample time to prepare to try to come up with plan A and plan B, so to speak. They've seen everything. Nothing's going to surprise Navy. Nothing surprises any team that runs these offenses. I've been fortunate enough to be able to play against a number of schools that have run the option, and no matter what you throw at them, they just open up the page and say, this is how you attack it. And so it's going to be a tremendous challenge. But the guys have bought into what we've been teaching them, and it's assignment football, it's eye discipline, it's reading your keys, all those things that we can talk about. But until you get into it and see the speed of play, I think our scouts have done a really nice job of showing pictures, but you can't emulate the speed that we're going to see tomorrow afternoon. And so for us, the biggest challenge will be to be able to get to understand and feel for the speed of the game.
They're just, to me, it could be similar to the Army game. They possess the ball. They, really good at what they do. Coach Klieman knows how to win games. They're sound. They run the football. Obviously, they can throw it too. They're pretty multiple in what they do. Really good on special teams. Really good on defense. So you got to make sure. Sometimes you play games with high possession teams. They're in the Big 12, so they play a lot of teams that are up try to go up tempo. But we're going to possess the ball like them. And when you play games like that, you got to be really selective in your play calling. Sometimes when you play up-tempo teams that you get a ton of possessions, you can kind of probe a little bit and kind of test the waters and see different things. But coming to these games, you got to be super detailed in what you're doing. Your game planning has got to be on point, and you got to know how you're going to attack people real quickly. We don't know exactly what they're going to do on defense from offensive standpoint. We've looked at some of the history of coach going against option teams, but people got 15 practices they can change up, but we got to see what they're doing really quickly and try to adjust because it's going to be a short game. I mean, that's always our mantra. Just got to take care of the football. We can't give up any big plays in special teams, and that's going to be hard against them because they're super explosive. So that's always the key. Maximize your possessions, take care of the football, don't give up any big plays, and if anything make them earn it.
The Liberty Bowl will bring to a close the first year of the Chris Klieman era at Kansas State, and just 1 year removed from a 5-7 finish in the final year under Bill Snyder. Chris Klieman seems to have the Wildcat football program back on the rise. It's been a challenge, no doubt, coming into a situation inheriting a losing football program, replacing a program's legendary coach. However, it seems like Chris Klieman is the man for the job in Manhattan.
The whole body of work, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't point to one thing. I point to the full year of all the newness that I had, that the coaches had, that the team had, and they bought in. They listened to and bought into the new voices in the front of the room. They held each other accountable. They believed in stacking great days upon great days. We're laying a foundation with our staff that we hope the younger guys can latch onto and continue to build upon that foundation. And I'm not saying the foundation was poor. This is just our staff. We've got a great foundation from what Coach Snyder has done for years and years. But this is a new staff, and that's all I'm trying to do is make sure our guys buy into what we're trying to do as a staff.
I think what he's done has been remarkable. To come into a place that was coached by an icon, a legend in our profession, Coach Snyder, to follow that's hard. That's a really hard thing to do, to follow, a coaching legend like that. But he's come, I haven't been at any of his meetings or whatever, but you can tell that the kids have embraced his system. You can tell that he's embraced some of the other maybe things that have happened. But the transition to me seems like it went really well. And like I said, I've never stepped foot on their campus. This is just me watching them from afar, watching their teams play, watching what they've done. The teams they've beaten some really good teams, obviously Oklahoma. But that to me is a great testament to what type of coach he was. Very successful coach, obviously where he's at, to come and to follow a legend like Coach Snyder and to implement his system, the way he does things. There is some give and take. Because some guys come and they just, knock on the walls and say, hey, this is how we're doing things. It could be a little bit abrasive. But to me, it's apparent that the transition has gone really well. So to me, Ava, that's really impressive for me because those are hard things to do. I don't think people recognize how hard that is. They just think that if you're a successful coach, you come here and you're successful. But I think there's a lot of examples of successful coaches to go to other places and you don't succeed. So it's a great testament to him.
And both teams have a lot on the line coming into the Liberty Bowl, and a win would mean a lot for both sides. For Chris Klieman and Kansas State, obviously a 9-win season would be the first time since the 2014 season that the Wildcat football program won 9 games. And if Navy were to win it, it would mark an 11-win season for Ken Niumatalolo and the Midshipmen. Like I said, there's a lot on the line for both of these programs, and it looks like it's going to be quite a fight on Tuesday.
It'd mean a lot to us. This is to be here at the Liberty Bowl, to be invited. We're super excited for us. To play a Big 12 team, a really good Big 12 team is a great honor. I wasn't too fired up to hear as Kansas State because I knew who they were and what type of team they would be. But, for us to have a chance to win this game would mean a lot for our program. It would help catapult us into the new year. But I think, more than anything, would hopefully, finish off a great season for us that we've had here in 2019.
It would finish the chapter, finish the story. We talk about the journey we've been on, and we have one more chapter, one more story to write with our seniors, and we know it's going to be a difficult task. But if we continue to prepare, give us a great chance to be successful. But without question, it would end the journey.
That's all for our pregame coverage leading up to the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and we'll be on hand at the game tomorrow to bring you postgame coverage, both written and video at GoPowerCat.com. From GoPowerCat.com, I'm Riley Gates. Thank you for watching.